Hey everybody, I'm CrazyCat42 and welcome to Trivia Time. Now today I'm going to talk about Fire Emblem Awakening for the 3DS. Now this is one of my favourite games on the 3DS. In fact, it's actually one of my top 3 games of all time. And today I'm going to talk about one of the DLC levels from this game. A theory involving it that I have. That level is called Infinite Regalia. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show. The plot of this level is that Chrom and friends have entered an Outrealm which contains a palace full of treasure, which is guarded by 36 undead warriors called the Dead Lords. And you have to beat them in order to get this treasure, which is a bunch of legendary weapons which are pretty cool. Oh yeah, also Eldigan from Genealogy of the Holy War will join you if you beat this level, so that's neat I guess. Now you're probably wondering, what is my theory? Well, my theory is that the 36 Dead Lords are in fact the first gen characters. Dun dun dun. Now you're probably thinking, CrazyCat42, are you crazy? Well, yes I am. See, crazy is in my name. But I'm not crazy about this. Just hear me out on this one, okay? Now, how many Dead Lords are there? There are 36. Now, how many first gen characters are there? There are 36. And you're probably thinking, that's just a coincidence. Well, let me show you some of the battle quotes the characters have, because they kind of back up my theory. Now here's Chrom's quote. It says, "You said you gave your lives in a battle on which the future hung in the balance. Then you should understand why I have to defeat you here. I'm sorry, friend, but I can ill afford to share your fate." So the Deadlords all died in a battle for the future. And we all know that the characters did die in a battle for the future in the original timeline, which is why the children are trying to change that. So could the Deadlords and the first gen characters be one and the same? Now here's Sully's quote. "I bet these Deadlords were good friends in their former life. Hell, why else would they take turns introducing themselves? Looks like it's one tightly knit team versus another. Works for me." So, both teams are very similar since they're both very close. That's some more evidence that they could be one and the same. Now Tiki's quote really backs my theory. It is, "I know you. That grisly guise you wear is not enough to blind me. You died to protect something. Will you now destroy it? Then know I will stop you to honor your last wish and defend the children." So, the Dead Lords died to protect something, and that is the children from the future. Hint hint, the children are the Dead Lords' children, which means the Dead Lords are the first gen characters. Speaking of the children, I wonder what they have to say about the Dead Lords. Here is Lucina's quote. It is, "One of you Dead Lords has the brand. I saw it. Was he of the exalted bloodline then? I should very much like to face him. If he's at all like my father, then he must be a warrior worth my time." So, one of the Dead Lords has the brand. Well, Chrom is the brand. Chrom is Lucina's father, which means that Dead Lord is probably Lucina's father, and she's going to fight him, maybe. There's some more evidence for you. Here's Inigo's quote. "Yours must have been a costly fight. Was the world better for it? Strange, when I look at you, I find myself thinking of my parents. Was it because they fought and died for the world as well? I don't know, Inigo. I think you're thinking of your parents because two of those Dead Lords are probably your parents." Here's Brady's quote. "I saw the mess outside. All ruins, no people, yeah? What kind of hell has this world been through? Damn your eyes. I don't like how much this place reminds you of home." Well, maybe because it reminds you of home, Brady, because this is your home. It's just in a part of your world you just didn't go to, I guess. Here's Kajel's quote. "Something about this place kills my will to fight. They are more than worthy of my steel, so why then? Could I actually be afraid to fight? Perhaps I need to defeat them and forge my courage in you." Maybe Kajel's afraid because to her parents, she just doesn't realize it. Here's Cynthia's quote. "I'm sorry, have we met? In the future, maybe? My future? It just seems so damn familiar. Oh well, it's probably my subconscious concocted a heroic backstory. Maybe she will recognize them because they're her parents. See, there's some more proof to my theory." Here is Severa's quote. "Why do you keep staring at me like that? Huh? Wait, are you crying? But you're arisen. Well, you won't move me to tears. I won't be deceived." So one of the Dead Lords is crying. Perhaps that one is one of her parents. It recognizes her and is crying because it doesn't want to accept his fate. Here's Morgan's quote. "Tight formation, good teamwork. No wonder your treasure's unclaimed. You Dead Lords have a fine technician among you, but not good enough. My father is the very tactical mind. I'm sure of it." So, they have a technician among them. Perhaps that technician is the same one we have, because they're one and the same. Here is Jerome's quote. Why does Minerva cry out in your presence, fiends? Have you put some spell upon her? The last time I heard her screech so sadly was when my parents fell. So, it seems Minerva has figured out that the Dead Lords are, in fact, the first-gen characters, and one of them is her former master. Here's Jan's quote. Is one of you a Togwell? I sense a presence not unlike my mother's, but no, that's not possible. I suppose just read to see someone be extinction for a change. So, there's a presence just like its mother's. Perhaps because that presence is his mother, who's become arisen. Here is Lauren's quote. I will not lie, I find you riveting. I never found my mother's body after she died, you know. Could she have ended up like you? God forbid she be among you. Well, I hate to be the one to tell you, Laurent, but one of them is your mother. Here is Noir's quote. These foes are as scary as my mother was in her lifetime. It's hard to imagine anyone can match her levels of terror. Can't even think about it. Well guess what? One of those Dead Lords is your mother, and she's just as terrifying as she was when she was alive. And finally we have Na's quote. This is all wrong. It has been since we got here. These Lords want us dead. They do not bear the sense of enemies. What have you done to my Dragon King's sense of smell? I must know. Well, the reason they don't smell like enemies is because they're not. They're actually your parents. You just don't realize it. So, as you can see, all the children have a quote that backs up my theory. Well, almost all the children, with the exception of Owain, whose quote is about weapon names. Classic Owain. And that's my theory about the Dead Lords. I think I've provided enough evidence to back up my theory, so what do you think? Do you believe it? Well, that's all I have time for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time on Trivia Time. Hey, if you want to see some more Trivia Time, click one of the thumbnails on the screen.